There is one mistake that can make your home take 3 times longer to sell. It can make the process way more stressful and it can cost you a fortune as well. Unfortunately, your estate agent, instead of helping you avoid this pitfall, is going to be the one pushing you into it. So in this video, I'm going to show you what this pitfall is, why avoiding it is so important, why so many people fall into it in the first place, and most importantly, what you can do instead. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, I'm Matthew Cooper, co-founder of Home Selling Expert. I've sold over 500 homes for clients. I've bought and sold over 100 of my own properties as well. My free advice articles have been viewed over 2 million times online. So here is the number one lesson I've learned from all those sales. If you want to sell your house quickly for its full value, then the most important thing is figuring out what it is actually worth. So let me show you the 3 reasons this is so important. So benefit number 1 is speed. So Rightmove tell us that properties that get the price right first time around and never need reducing take on average 32 days to find a buyer. Whereas if you get the valuation wrong and end up having to reduce, it jumps right up to 99 days. Meaning if we get the price right from the start, we can save over 2 months right there. This isn't just about time though. Knowing what your home is actually worth will, benefit number 2, make you more money as well. So here's how. So first, your agent will encourage you to accept low offers because they want the deal done at any price, not the price that's best for you. But if you know what your home is actually worth, you'll have the confidence to reject these low offers despite the pressure to accept them because you'll have the conviction that more is around the corner. Secondly, some of the most regretful sellers I speak with are those who had a great offer early on but rejected it because they thought their home was worth more and then never got an offer as high again. Regret. So knowing what your home is actually worth will also give you the confidence to accept good offers and avoid missing out on them. Third, it helps you avoid a situation where when you overprice a home and it hangs around for months and you end up having to reduce it, it looks like no one else wants it. And I've personally found that can ultimately result in lower offers in the end. So these are 3 pretty compelling reasons why it will make you more money. But it won't just make you more money and save you more time when you know what your home's worth. The third benefit of an accurate valuation is less stress. So this process is among the most stressful life events we go through in the UK. More than a third admit they cried during the sale process. But here's what I've observed. So a lot of that stress comes from uncertainty, not knowing what will happen. But when you understand the process and you know what your home is actually worth, that stress drops dramatically because you're no longer guessing. So if an accurate valuation means faster sales at better prices with less stress, why do so many people get this wrong? Well, here's why. It's because the house sale process starts with a valuation from an estate agent. And that feels like it makes sense, but here's the thing and why we all run into problems as sellers. It's because when an agent comes and gives you a valuation, comes to value your home, it's not their job to value your home. It's their job to sign you up. They're salespeople with sales targets. And the easiest way for them to sign you up is by promising you the earth and telling you what you want to hear in the form of a nice high valuation. Then they sign you up into a nice long contract, typically 4 to 6 months, which is plenty of time to work on you and get you to reduce the price down to a realistic level so they can sell it. It's really cynical, but this is how estate agency works. These agents know that most sellers are getting 2 or 3 valuations, and they know the one who gives the lowest valuation usually doesn't get the business. They go out of business. And it's this dynamic of all of the agents overvaluing that leads to overpriced properties and longer timelines and more stress for you. And just so you know, I'm not saying these agents are bad people. I'm just saying that their incentives aren't aligned with ours as home sellers. And just so next kind of part of this video, this isn't a small problem that will affect a small number of home sellers. It is incredibly common and they're off by a huge margin. So let me show you some facts. So according to Rightmove, 34% of properties need at least 1 price reduction before they sell, more than 1 in 3. And they aren't small tweaks. So the most recent data from Rightmove says the average price reduction is 7% of the property's value. So on a £300,000 home, that's £21,000 that the price needed reducing by. And this is the average. Remember, many are way more than that. And some need multiple price reductions. That is not all though. Even after all these reductions, sellers don't usually achieve their asking price. On average, accepted offers are another 3.9% under the asking price. So on a £300,000 home, that's almost another £12,000. So these valuations are usually off by tens of thousands of pounds. And this lines up with exactly what I've seen in my own experience as well. I've had over 1,000 of these estate agent valuations, spoken with literally hundreds or thousands of sellers over the years. And this is, I'll give you an example of what it looks like when you get this wrong. So this literally happened last week. I spoke with a couple who'd listed at 450,000 following their agent's advice. In the last 7 months, they'd had 0 viewings. And when I looked, it seemed like they might be 70 grand off. Huge sums of money, and this is not unusual. Like, agents are not good at this, and remember, they are not on your side with it. Like, if they're off by 20 grand in the valuation, they don't lose 20 grand, they don't lose a penny. They never had skin in the game. Actually, they benefited by being off by that much because they got a sign up and they locked you into a long contract. And for that couple, those homeowners losing sleep, worrying about the sale for the last 7 months, I promise the agent didn't lose a moment's sleep either. And the problem for that couple now is they need to reduce the price, meet the market where it is. But now their home's been on the market for 7 months and it looks like no one wants it. And so they look way less appealing. And so the point is, they will probably sell for less money in the end than they would have if they got it right first time around. And so I'm kind of saying all of this to hopefully get you bought into the idea that if you want to sell your home fast and for its full value, you need to figure out what it's actually worth. Overpricing your home does not make you more money. It just costs you time. Obviously, on the flip side of that, we don't want to underprice it either, because that will cost us money. So how do we do this and strike this balance? And actually, how do we get an accurate valuation? Well, first thing, heaven forbid you go to Zoopla for an online valuation. Please don't do that. Properties are too unique and different from each other, and sales are too few and far between to give anywhere near enough data for these valuations to have any semblance of accuracy. So please don't let a Zoopla valuation throw you off. You can do way better in terms of accuracy. So how do you do that? Well, my best answer after 500 plus sales is that we are going to need to take this into our own hands and do our own valuation. We'll use parts of feedback from the agent, but we're going to build our own, and it's going to be based on facts. And this is what we call a comparable backed valuation. It's what your agent should be doing, but isn't. And the idea is this. So if we can find similar properties nearby that have sold recently, and we can figure out how their sale went and how much they sold for, then we can start triangulating what our home is likely to sell for. Now, this is a slightly time-consuming process. Just so you know, we spend about 2 to 4 hours on each valuation, even now with all our experience. But personally, I would rather spend 2 hours getting this right from the start than spend 2 months testing the market and setting myself up for disappointment later, and potentially costing myself thousands of pounds as well from getting it wrong. So if you're like me and you want to get this right first time around, watch this next video where I'll walk you through in detail my 3-step valuation process, and I'll show you exactly what you need to do so you can sell your home fast and for its full value and avoid this pitfall.